there are possibly some, slave masters, and we don't want them to hear everything that's going on here. So somebody comes in and they says, did you hear M.K. Asante escaped? He went up to Philadelphia or something. M.K. Asante, and they say, M.K. escaped? That's a bad nigga. Now, the people in the room know that bad is actually not bad. It's good. They're celebrating, right? But the white slave master that might hear that term, bad nigga, is going to think, yeah, he's bad nigga because he escaped. Now that's the first example you have of us playing on language, right? Because we know what bad nigga means. It doesn't mean bad. It means great. It means we're celebrating him like Moses. But for the person who doesn't understand that, right? They're just taking it literally. And that's the first example you have in this country of black people using language to subvert the dominant paradigm. We have to come up with, when the slave master realizes, hold on. When they say bad, they really mean good, right? When he realizes that, then we don't say that anymore. We got some new slang that we invent, you know what I'm saying? So that's the history of our thing, and it's been like that in this country. And so even as a kid, when we're saying John and using all these Johns, I recognize that it comes from this history of, black people creating language really to be able to survive. How else can you survive, right? So anyway, I wanted to just park that in. But in this book, not only do I introduce you to the language, the culture, Philadelphia as a city, Philadelphia as a character in the book, one of the other things I wanted to do in the book was to introduce you to my family, of course. This is a memoir. And so I introduce you to my brother, my mother, my father. My parents have really interesting backgrounds. My dad is one of 16 children from Valdosta, Georgia. He grew up in a shack as a sharecropper. And I write about that history and his history and kind of how he influences the family and me. I write about my mom, who's from Brooklyn, New York, and my mom is from Brooklyn. My dad is from Georgia. Somehow I was born in Harare, Zimbabwe, right? So that just kind of shows you the orientation. And so I write about them and their struggles. I write about my brother. I describe my brother. I say my brother's name is Uzi. I say Uzi is the color of walnuts and has a long, sharp face like the African mask my dad hangs up everywhere. His name is Daoud. My parents call him Daoudi, and the hood calls him Uzi. He's got a bunch of other names too, like some superhero. Uwap, Daoud, Uzito, Wap the Culture, Cool D, Pinch P, Big Oo, Barkalart, Drop the Miss Rhyme, Big Fly, and Still the Killer. Those are all my brother's names. And so in this opening scene, one of my brother's friends thinks it's a great idea. My brother's about 16, my brother's 17, 16 at the time. Thinks it's a great idea. He has a stolen car. Thinks they should go on a joyride. And I think it's a good idea too. I'm about 12 at the time, or 13. And I say, and this is how it always goes. Me following Uzi in everything, everywhere, like his little black Jan Sport, covered in marks a lot, strapped tight to his back, koala style. Anywhere, any place. He does it, I do it. He tries it, I'm trying it. Sometimes I even duck like him under doorways, even though he's way taller, and I don't even need to duck. So Uzi's this larger-than-life character, and in the opening scene of the book, they go steal a car. He doesn't let me go with them, and like 15 minutes later, the cops come rushing our crib. They take my brother to jail, and that's really like the beginning of the end, in a lot of ways, for my family structure as I knew it. The family that I had grown up